So what's going to happen to the Yokohama Liumang?
Damn, going straight for the jugular, huh? Well, obviously, Mabuchi's ruined everything. The Great Wall is full of holes now. If the Omi decide to invade, it'll crumble.
Is there any hope?
I don't know. But if we don't patch up the wall, it's all over.
I can't imagine Xiao has a whole lot of
Man,
support
it
left
hurts just looking
with the
at that.
Liumang too,
Hurts
after
having
Mabuchi just basically
That's why I'm
splintered the
thinking
whole
stepping
damn faction.
Huh?
Yeah, probably like a 50,
It doesn't
60%.
matter so much who the boss of the Liumang is.
Oh man, he generated
In the
10%
end,
too?
the only
That's
thing
scary.
really matters is whether my men have a place to call home. You get it?
Yeah. I know the Liumang origin story.
Ah. Then you know why we formed in the first place. I don't know if I can keep us going anymore. I was never that great at it. Not like my father.
But who's the next leader gonna be if you step down?
I have someone in mind. Someone who's tough, bold. Friend of yours, actually.
What? Who?
Song Hui-san.
Song Hui? You'd give the Liumang to the Komi Jewel?
Oh wait, she's already
Yeah,
got one organization?
Up to now, the two factions have been like oil and water. But the world's changing. Walls are crumbling. If we don't start banding together, none of us will survive.
Oh man, we have to go beyond national
Not
borders.
everyone will accept the merger, of course.
Some big boss predicted this.
Members. But that hasn't changed the overall situation for the Eugene.
Gangsters without borders, huh?
Or die.
Yeah. I think I see what you're saying.
Do you?
You figure Song Hui will keep the Liumang from going extinct. Meanwhile, the Komi Jewel get a new home.
It's the gangsters,
So
sans
both your people and
frontières.
her people will be better off. Everyone's a big, happy family.
Well, you don't have to put it like that exactly. Soft sweetheart terms and shit.
Yeah, I do.
I guess the
You're a
question
good
is though,
guy
will
with a
the
big
other
ol' heart.
guys in the
I kinda
Liumang
figured.
accept this
Do we really have
arrangement?
to do this?
Hmm.
I can't be that annoyed with you. The Eugene 3 do owe you a lot.
I'm sure if there's a person with a strong enough character,
Yeah, speaking
could
of,
at least browbeat him
go
into
visit the
position.
chairman and see how grateful he really is.
Yeah, I suppose. Like, I don't know if anyone would really want to mess with Sung Hui when Jungi
I
Han's
have some
just
idea
there.
how this fake bill ended up in your pocket.
There's just something I want to ask him. I think he'll be willing to talk about more secret shit now, don't you think?
He should. We all owe you big time. You sure don't hesitate to cash in on favors. Well, give my regards to him when you see him.
Well, that was a lot to take in. But, yeah, we gotta go meet with Hoshino again. I forget why I was over here in the first place. Oh no, it's just over around the corner. I guess I just want to show that there was a little alleyway there.
Hmm.
You may enter.
Thank you, Chairman Hoshino. Captain Takabe said it would be okay for us to talk.
I heard. And I believe I already know why you've come. You've done us a great service. I would not still be leader of this clan if it weren't for you.
Does that mean the Seiryu clan's gonna pull through?
I can't say for sure yet. About 20 to 30% of our men defected to the Omi. And the ones who stayed are grumbling behind my back. And it's hard to blame them. They just found out the Ijincho standoff was all a sham.
Zhao told me he's giving up his position as the leader of the Liumang. Song Hui is going to lead them.
Yes, I know.
You just know everything, huh?
Not everything. But I'll tell you what I do know. Eventually, the Seiryu clan will succumb to the Omi alliance.
What?
For people who had nowhere to live outside the gray zones, the Great Wall of Muscle was their only protection. Now it's crumbling. That's a matter of life or death for them. Already rumors are flying into Jincho's political circles. Rumors that Ogikubo's lost his touch. I'm sure Aoki got those whispers going. He never lets a good crisis go to waste.
Oh, really?
Aoki knows it would destroy the party if it ever revealed their chair, Ogikubo, forged money for years. Now Aoki can easily blackmail Ogikubo and force him to step down. Aoki will become the new party chair.
I don't get it. Why does he want to take Ogikubo's place so bad?
The party chair manages elections, so in that role, Aoki could nominate anyone he wants. He'll control the ruling party. Therefore, he'll control the nation.
The whole country will be under his thumb?
Yes. Especially if I'm right about his next move. I think he's gonna try to dissolve Parliament.
And everybody would be fine with that because reasons.
Yeah, I don't know how
Dissolve
how he could
at a time
get away
like
with
this?
doing
That's
that.
insane.
Prime Minister, I understand how you must feel, being unable to rely on Ogikubo-sensei. But honestly, I have the power to support you better than he ever could. If an election were held today, I could guarantee you 2/3 of the seats, minimum.
Do you have a solid plan for doing that?
Yes. I'll send Bleach Japan to the districts where the Citizens' Liberal Party is weakest. Bleach Japan can influence votes anywhere. They're incredibly popular. Plus, they have my endorsement. A victory for the party would, of course, move your personal political goals forward.
Oh.
Tell me, do you think you have the power to maintain the party's stability right now? We don't want it breaking up for lack of support from Ogikubo-sensei.
You can talk that way to the house, but not to me.
Appoint me to party chair and hold an election. If you don't, I'll be forced to make public the nature of Ogikubo-sensei's crimes. That would mean the end of not only your administration, but the party itself.
But there's no precedent for someone serving as both governor and party chair. Besides, you're much too young.
If age is what you want, start digging for some old fossil who can stop me. That is, if you think you can find one. Anyone in particular come to mind?
It's pretty easy to find some 70, 80-year-olds these days.
Especially in a country like Japan where they're very conservative, to say the least.
Aoki's scheme to destroy the Great Wall worked. Now he's got Mabuchi and the Omi at his command. So much power, vested in just one man. And it had to be Masato Arakawa.
When did you find that out? I thought that was just a thing Ichiban told the party.
I just figure there's clearly cutscenes we missed.
Kasuga. I know you
That
never
or the
intended to
Gomi
be the
Jewel
center
saw
of
it
all
because
this. It
cameras.
was pure coincidence that you were there when the soap landowner
I think
died.
by that point the
Wouldn't you agree?
wait, maybe not.
Yep.
I thought I was thinking that maybe the Gomi Jewel's
One thing I don't
security
believe
system
is
had been
coincidence.
destroyed by that point, but I think that was
You
after.
ended up in Ijin show.
Huh? What do you mean?
Do you still have that fake bill?
Of course, I carry it with me all the time.
I can't really say it saved my life, but it was a good reminder of what I should never lose sight of.
Didn't
Somehow.
you say you knew how it ended?
I like how he pulls it out first and looks at it and goes, "Yeah, this,
Only
right?"
One person in the world could have put that bill in your pocket.
Who? Who is it?
Masumi Arakawa himself.
Arakawa-san. No, He's the one who shot me.
Yes, I'm aware he shot you. But did you ever consider that maybe he did that so you would end up here?
What?
That fake bill was his letter of introduction between you and me. It was to let me know that you were one of Masumi Arakawa's men.
Kind of a weird way to introduce us, don't you think?
I think what it means is Arakawa's goals do not align with those of Ryo Aoki.
Well, then, what are Arakawa's goals?
I really can't say. But I do know that he means business. He wouldn't have used that bill if he didn't.
Chairman, how exactly do you know Arakawa-san?
Well, that's a long
Now
story.
that I'm thinking about it, it does
And
feel
there's
like
much better
a
place than here
kind of a
to
weird
tell it.
leap to
Heian Tower.
just assume Ichiban would get involved with the Seiryu in such a position that
Yes.
he
That's
would
where
end up
my
showing
fate
this fake
intertwined
bill
with
to
Arakawa's.
Chairman Hoshino here.
Hmm.
He sure seems to be partial to pig.
I mean, I feel like that's a lot. That's always the circumstances for games like this.
Tomorrow.
I
My
mean,
treat.
yeah, you're not wrong.
Just have to
like,
get
it's-
extremely lucky.
Yeah, but if Ichiban just camped out at the homeless camp the entire time, I don't know that this letter of introduction would ever have gone through, and then Parliament would be gone, and
Yeah, exactly.
suddenly Masumi Arakawa controls the world. Not Masumi. Masato Arakawa controls the world.
I like how you jump immediately to controls the world, as if countries like China and the U.S. would just bow down.
If he had his way, I'm sure they would.
Listen,
Anyway, we got a lunch date with Chairman Hoshino, but it's a little early for lunch, so let's see what Namba's got to say for us.
Time for a dance-off. That's what we're gonna do, right?
Hell yeah!
All right.
Okay.
Let me go take a look at the records I got. I think I bought Friday Night.
All we need.
Hmm?
Because they're nice people. What more do you want?
But let's consider how did this dying man end up all the way in the Ijincho homeless camp?
And maybe he was passing by.
Or that too. They could have just shipped Ichiban off to the proper facilities for this.
Hmm. I mean, it could be as simple
Yeah.
as he was paid to.
Even so, that sounds like a lead we should probably go chase down.
Yo.
hey,
All right, let's do as he says.
Chief. My friend's got some questions about the day I was dumped in this town.
Yeah. I want to know why you didn't just
Ichiban,
abandon
it's okay. He knows who
dump him in the
Nanba is.
hospital. If you don't mind telling us, I'm sure we'd all appreciate it.
Nanba's got a photo of the chief that he stares wistfully at when he goes to karaoke. It's fine.
Like, this is just to add tension.
I see.
Well, actually, I don't know if the chief would really be able to smell
tell you.
Nanba, considering
It's as good a
that
time
everyone
as
probably
any.
has a similar stench to them here.
There's an old tradition in this homeless camp. A responsibility passed down through the chiefs for many years.
What responsibility?
On occasion, when we're asked, we dispose of bodies.
What?
Bodies?
Yeah. There's a Yakuza family from Kamurocho who pays us to do it. They're called Arakawa.
The plot
Arakawa?
thickens.
Seriously? They, was this going on while they were still Tojo?
I don't know every detail, but yes. The arrangement existed at that time. It existed before I started living here. We've dealt with all kinds of bodies, whether they've been shot, stabbed, beaten, no matter how nasty. We dug holes and buried them under garbage.
Where?
Who knows how many
No
are there
way.
now? Back during the bubble, we got one every month.
You don't
So
think
I
the
was
homeless camp is
Since I became chief.
a makeshift graveyard for these
It's only been
bodies, do
3.
you?
Apparently. All those blue tarps are just bodies.
But there's one more secret.
No wonder they don't want to get
applies
evicted
to
by
anyone the Arakawa bring
the
here
authorities.
A secret within the secret. Great.
What happens if they bring someone alive?
alive. We're supposed to give the person medical aid, then let them go free, while pretending they're dead.
What's up with that?
They really like
In the
zombie
criminal
movies.
underworld,
It's funny.
there's always people wanting to fake their own death. Gamblers, guys on the run.
Unfortunately, we
Anyone
have
who's
someone with
afraid
actual
someone
medical
will
training
hurt
and
them.
not just Hollywood
They
artists
send
with us.
people like that here, and we honor this.
I don't know why you say
agreement.
unfortunately.
I think it might actually be a service.
Well, they
the
can't make them look
Arakawa
like zombies with a
family
real
provides.
doctor.
But obviously, they don't advertise
It's called
it.
makeup cast.
So it ended up being a very rare event.
Is that agreement why you saved me? This live body rule?
You got it.
What sort of guy dropped me off here?
I mean, probably just someone from the family. I had no reason to check or anything. The guy lugged you out of the trunk of a car. You were covered in blood. He paid me and left. Didn't say a single thing the whole time.
I'm sorry, Ichi. You have to die. I'm counting on you, Ichi.
What the?
You know, I don't think I remember him
Arakawa-san
saying that
shot me.
back in chapter 2.
I think he said something.
Yeah.
I think it was, I'm counting on you, Ichi.
Oh, so long ago.
What would that even mean?
No clue. But the more I think about
Like,
it,
maybe if the game,
the more
like,
I'm
showed,
sure he said that.
like,
Look,
a shot of
Ichiban,
Arakawa, like, saying something, but not with no audio, then I'd be more inclined to believe it, but
I don't want to
I
dash your
genuinely
hopes or
don't remember
anything.
that.
Mm.
When you were dumped here, you were on death's doorstep. You're only alive because everything I did went exactly the way we needed it to. But it could have easily gone a different way. I know you want to trust Arakawa, but
I think Arakawa-san had to shoot me. All the other Yakuza at that meeting were watching him.
huh?
Never mind. You don't get it. Forget I said anything.
Another detail I think might be worth considering too, Arakawa was like, he made it big as a hitman, right?
Hmm.
Like, that's the kind of guy who would know how to effectively take out a guy in one shot, but, you know, Ichiban's still breathing.
Yeah, but knowledge of how to kill someone also could lead into knowledge of how not to kill people.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, just some food for thought.
Hmm.
Speaking of food, how about that Peking duck?
I went ahead and got started.
You sure you don't mind treating me?
What? Are you actually able to pay?
Yeah, I just came from my
Wish I
office
could,
down there. Like, I
don't
was just,
think I can take
in a
this.
really long meeting with my investors.
Yeah, I kind of have like $50 million.
Sound like you're gonna relax during this meal.
Depends on what you say.
Yeah,
Hopefully
I
I'll
was finally
relax
able to
enough to enjoy the
let my pet chicken just handle the rest of the investors while I go
How
step
do you
out for
know
lunch.
Arakawa-san? I'm on the edge of my seat here.
It wasn't long after the war the counterfeit bills started being produced in Ijincho. It was top secret. Only the heads of the Seiryu clan and the Liumang, plus some officers, knew about it. Outside of that inner circle, they also had to hire people to smuggle the bills.
Smugglers?
And one of them was a traveling actor. His name was Toshio Arakawa.
Where have I
He
heard
was
that name before?
Masumi Arakawa's father.
What?
One day,
I don't know why
he came to
Ichiban's
us
having
and
that
lost an entire
flashback.
suitcase filled with 100 mil in fake yen. No excuse in the world could have saved him. A mistake that grave required the Seiryu clan to make an example out of him for the other smugglers. But remember, only a few people at the top even knew about the counterfeiting. It wasn't a task they could hand to just anybody. So I, being next in line to inherit the clan, was entrusted to carry it out.
Ah, how convenient.
So did you... You actually...
Yes. I killed Toshio Arakawa.
So hey, remember that
Father
that scene from the
of
beginning of the game
Masumi
where a young
This very
Arakawa
place.
went to the bathroom and came back to
40
find his
years ago.
father dead?
But I had no idea.
Now we have the
who was in
context for
room
that.
with My target.
Boy, I'm so glad we're having Peking Duck right now. Wait a minute.
14-year-old son.
Check him for
It was
guns.
too late. I had to go through with the hit, knowing this boy would see his father die. To make my guilt even worse, later I found out why Toshio lost the fake bills. His wife and her lover had stolen them. And those two fell into the ocean and disappeared. Their corpses were never even found.
So Arakawa-san lost both his parents, one after the other.
And his only other friends, the theater troupe, disbanded soon after without their leader.
Okay, so
Masumi Arakawa
someone has to
became
explain this to me,
director,
because I always
along with
assumed that
other actors. I
in
couldn't
the
trust
opening
anyone.
cutscene,
So what other
isn't
path was there
Masumi
for
treated
them,
as a woman?
except becoming Yakuza in Kamurocho?
No?
Because it really feels like he is. And I kind of figured like, oh, they're doing like a... Like it's just to really change, I guess, the
Arakawa joined
to
a
save yourself, like
low-ranking family
as
in
you're
the
getting
Tojo
away
clan
from the
called
Yakuza, or like, you know, you've lost both your parents, so you reinvent yourself. And I figured that was
They were
part
the
of
kind
it,
of
but
family that took hits without
apparently not.
thinking twice.
Really?
Yeah, no,
Yes.
it was the other way around. Like,
They
he
were
was in
always
the theater
need of
troupe
ways
that
to dispose of
that we've now
money.
just learned is
Masumi Arakawa
was
tapped to help
dealing
with
with the
that.
Yakuza in
And
smuggling
he was
Yeah, but-
bills.
extremely cautious.
But
To do it,
after
he started coming
you know
all the way
the
to
theater
the
troupe
homeless camp
fell
in
apart,
Ijincho.
he had nowhere to turn but
Even
the
though the family was
Yakuza
based
in
Tokyo?
Kamuro.
Sure, but
Why?
my point is just that in the actual
Well,
acting portion,
truthfully, he
right?
wanted an excuse to
Mm-hmm.
come to Yokohama
Masumi,
because it would afford him
is
opportunities to hunt
a
his
woman.
father's killer.
I think he was just playing a woman in that stage show.
So Arakawa-san
because it
was
kind of
using the
like
homeless
I
camp
guess
as
I'd have to go back to the
supposed
original
bodies
videos,
anyway.
the first video or whatever. But it just seems like Masumi's
Indeed.
mom is saying like, "Oh,
As
you're
for his hunt,
not like
he
the
researched
daughter
Yakuza
I expected or
criminals every
whatever."
time he was here. All he started with was a single clue. His own
I think that was
childhood
just his
memory of
mom
the
being
suspicious
like
waiter he
a
saw
really
here
shitty
that
person,
night.
honestly.
Mm.
Eventually,
Well, I like my
7
version of
years
events
after
better,
the
so-
murder, I received an invitation to come here. He signed his invitation Masumi Arakawa. It was a bold declaration, and I knew immediately the running would be futile. So I came here, alone. I didn't even bring a bodyguard.
Why the hell not?
I didn't want to get two people to
Simply,
die.
I was prepared to die.
But I mean,
In this line of work, there are no good ways to die. And I can think of worse ways to go that would not give that boy the justice he'd earned. The memory of what I'd done to him never left me, you know. It was always like a small bone stuck in my throat. He was sitting right where you are now.
here?
In that very same chair, I've kept it
He didn't
all
look a
these
day over
years.
20. But his eyes had that hard, flinty gaze of an old killer. I couldn't help myself. I told him everything. I told him why I killed Toshio Arakawa. I even told him about the secret counterfeiting. I figured I was dead anyway. He had a gun in his hand, and all he had to do was pull the trigger. But he never once interrupted me. When I'd finished, he slowly stood up. I stopped him as he turned to leave. "Didn't you come here for revenge?" I asked.
And what did he say?
He said, "If only you had ignored my invitation, then I could have shot you in the back." Then he left.
Boss.
In 1984, the 10,000 yen bill changed from the face of Prince Shotoku to Yukichi Fukuzawa. By that time, Arakawa had found his own Yakuza family. So I sent him a gift.
What was it?
A fresh batch of crisp fake bills featuring Yukichi Fukuzawa. They were defective prints with nothing on the back. Not exactly legal tender.
Then how was that a gift?
It's hard to explain. If I had to say, it was out of gratitude.
Sure,
Yes, that's usually a common reason for giving
I should have
gifts.
died that day I met with Arakawa. I would have
We're
been
supposed to pretend we don't know. We're not
Yet he
humans.
spared me. Not only that, but he lifted a terrible weight from my chest. Furthermore, it's not an exaggeration to say the equilibrium among the Ijin 3 continues to this day because of him. I owe him an unfathomable debt. And one day I must pay it back. The defective bills were how I chose to communicate the sentiment. The counterfeiting secret is Ijincho's weakness. And it was only thanks to Arakawa that the Ijin 3 could continue to secretly wield that power. But of course, that means if he ever feels like it was a mistake to let me live, he can use the fake bills to unravel everything I've built. The gift wasn't the bills themselves. They were leverage.
So in short, they were basically
I
like
actually wrote
1,000
something on the back
IOU
to that
notes.
effect.
Mm.
Neither justice nor mercy should tip the scale. It means that those in power must reward and punish where necessary. I felt it was an appropriate message. I suppose the writing has faded at this point.
Whoa.
Sure, did you write that on
So
all
that's
of the
whole
bills?
story.
Of course. It's one of those punishments they hand out in class.
But now I'm sitting across from a man holding one of those fake bills, which of course is a message from Arakawa that only I could understand. The message is, Masumi Arakawa sees you as a beloved family member.
Arakawa-san thinks of me as family.
He would not have placed that bill in your pocket lightly. Do you see its significance now? After everything I've told you? There is almost no doubt in my mind that Arakawa did not want you killed. So he didn't shoot you out of malice. He shot you so that you would be brought here be saved by the homeless, and eventually meet up with me. Do you see? That's everything I can tell you.
That's plenty. Thank you, Chairman. I see it all now. I always kind of figured.
You did? Well, it's your move now. I've only told you what I know, so...
It's okay. That's enough. I trust you.
Well, I don't hear that often.
Yeah, neither do I. Not even from my friends. But those friends are trustworthy to me. And so are you. I believe everything you said. And my faith in
I don't really know if like they need to say that to you, Ichiban. They followed you through to many a life and death scenario.
Are you a blood relative of Arakawa's?
No, it's not like that.
I see. Well, he must have been happy to have such loyalty as yours. As proud as any father, I think.
I forgot that they don't even show us what they were eating.
Look, we only had the technology and the money to do the Peking duck scene once.